Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Oh my God, we're here. No technical difficulties. This is already going swimmingly. Hi, everybody. Craig here. Welcome to Ghostbusters Radio Live, presented by Yes Have Some Podcast. Our second ever edition of this. And we have a guest. We're going to talk about that in a moment. We appreciate everybody being here. We're still kind of experimenting with what time we're going to be doing these at, but it'll probably be right around this 8 o'clock hour, a little bit earlier than a normal like Toy Anxiety or YHS stream. Thursday nights, every other Thursday, until stuff's really rolling in. And there's a lot to talk about as far as this new movie and everything else. And you'll probably see a lot more of us. But let me welcome everybody to the show. My co-host, as always, joining us, Jacob Walsh. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing? I'm good. I'm just hanging out, having a good. Sometimes I forget that we're gonna be recording or podcasting, and I'll be like lounging on my, the couch, maybe on the porch or something, like taking a little nap. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, we're recording in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, I was
same way. When my meditation turns into a nap for like an hour. That's where I was right before this.
I was at Walmart 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, you called me from Walmart half an hour ago. You called me from Walmart a half an hour ago, and that's what reminded me that we were recording tonight. And then I was like, "Why are you at Walmart? You better hurry up."
Well, listen. We podcast so much and we stream so much. It can't be an all-day event. It starts when it starts and it ends when it ends. That's why I like live streaming. Once it's done, you're done. No editing. No bullshit. Okay, Abigail Gardner, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm excited about Ghostbusters, and I'm glad there's people here hanging out. And thanks to Jay for joining us.
Absolutely. Let's introduce our co-host. You may or may not know him. I bet you do. We're going to try to rotate in different guests and get different perspectives on this whole world of Ghostbusters. And look at this. Jay, Geek Dad Life, killing it. GeekDadLife.com is taking the world by storm. You got the merch. Look at this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a real Barnum and Bailey.
Yeah, regular old Shillosaurus these days.
For yourself. How's it going, man?
It goes. Super excited to be here. I gotta be honest. Like when you first started doing these shows, like, God, I really hope they ask me on, because my number one pinnacle, top of Mount Everest, true love is Ghostbusters, and always down to talk GB.
Absolutely. So we got a lot of people joining us already in the chat. We'll say hi to you guys in just a moment. We did the kind of a pilot edition of this live stream last week. Jake, extreme close up. I don't know what he did.
I didn't do that. Who did that?
I have no idea.
I think it's a setting in
I don't like it.
The camera.
I want it to go back.
What happened?
Weird. I didn't touch anything. It just happened.
It just did that. Weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out.
We can roll with it.
We'll roll with it.
It really rolls. Yeah.
It really rolls. We started this last week or 2 weeks ago. Jake, you were up here. We kind of kicked it off. And man, we're gonna keep doing it because it's fun to talk Ghostbusters. It's fun to kind of break down all of the news happening. Phil, there it is.
I didn't do anything.
It's a
what
mirror.
Is happening?
Another YHS mirror.
My camera was hanging out at the Droid bar and got some of that Droid drink, and now it's doing its own thing.
What'd you call it earlier in our chat?
I don't remember. Droidichlorians.
Droidichlorians.
Yes.
I love it. So yeah, Ghostbusters, the new movie, Firehouse, in full effect, in production, and oh boy,
it's just gonna do that all night, huh?
I hope not.
It's haunted.
Same camera we've always used. This has never happened before.
I have no idea.
Now it's being a weirdo.
Yeah. So hey, it's never a dull moment when it comes to us. Okay, let's go ahead and
buy a toy every time Jake goes out of focus.
Every time, buy a toy. All right, let's go ahead and say hi to the chat because we are super happy that you guys are joining us. Make sure you hit the like button. Helps us spread the word on this channel. And helps us get the word out there about Ghostbusters. Okay, Silver K is here. Payne's Toy Samples. Mike Hext, Mr. Michael T, Charlie Weaver, Flash. This is my design horror channel. Let's see, who else do we got here? Bot Boy versus CFL Church. Geek Dad, how are you in the chat and here? This is crazy. Lawrence Dwayne is here. Jeanette Ritchie and AJ Quick. and so on and so. And Ecto Freak, okay, this is a good place for Ecto Freak to be, I think.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think so.
Yeah.
this is a good place. So before we get going on anything, Jay, you said it at the top. You're a longtime Ghostbusters fan. Tell us, walk us down memory lane. What has been your involvement in the fan community, and what is your level of fandom these days?
Yeah, I mean, for me, as a kid, Ghostbusters was my number one love, and then it kind of the toys stopped, showing up on toy shelves, and it wasn't cool to like Ghostbusters anymore. So like between 1992,
Still might not be.
until I used the internet for the first time, 1997. I felt like I was the only Ghostbusters fan like left. I thought it was like a dying breed of human. Like I would still wear the Ghostbusters suit, like Ghostbusters is still cool, guys. It's still cool. And then I'd get made fun of. But then the internet came along, and I found the Ghostbusters forum on like the Ghostbusters homepage or whatever. And I was like, oh, there's other people like me.
There's
And
others.
Dozens.
There's literally dozens of us. And there, I think it started in '99, but there was a Ghostbusters toy website that was called Ghostbusters Action Figure Web, which was a GeoCities site, I believe.
Okay.
But he had pictures. That was the first time I saw Ectoglow heroes, because I
Wow.
never saw those on toy shelves as a kid. And it was just a mind blow. And I love that site. I would just go there and just read all those little pithy comments about all the toys and see these pictures. And I printed them all out, and I just like kept them in a folder, and I would just look at them when I didn't, because I didn't have the internet yet at home. I didn't get it until I was in high school. God, I'm such a nerd.
No, I'm loving this. The
No, it's
homeschooler
great.
in me is like, I understand that, like having a home, like
Yes.
internet access. Yeah.
By the way,
Yes.
I think I figured out
On
what's
paper.
going on with Jake's camera.
What is it?
It feels like it might be switching back and forth from your regular camera to the MacBook camera. So maybe do an unplug and a plug in.
Ooh,
if you
yeah.
can,
Good call.
Yeah.
if possible.
Okay.
If not, then we'll just roll with it. No, but Jay, I get that. I was kind of in a similar kind of deal when I was in my early part of the Ghostbusters fandom,
Yeah.
where I first got the internet in whatever it was,
Yeah.
96, 97, and you start searching. Is Ghostbusters 3 happening? And then you
Yes.
find Ghostbusters HQ with Troy Benjamin, or Proton
Yes.
Charger with Chris Stewart,
Yes.
and just
Proton
kind of
Charging had the best, the flame ghost,
flame logo.
which is now it's just his normal logo, but that back then that was like his poster for it. It's like, oh,
Right. And that was kind of like my early beginnings of trying to figure out, first of all, I didn't even know what fandom was. Like, this was early days, right? Like,
Mhm.
you're just trying to figure out what your place in the world is, right?
Yeah.
I've been watching Ghostbusters and Real Ghostbusters and had the toys, but like the internet broadened everything, and it was cool
Yes.
finding those early websites and being like, whoa, there's people just like me
Yes.
who know how to make websites. This is crazy.
Yes. And
Yeah.
And but that toy website like disappeared. I guess he didn't pay for the free server or something. And so I was like, I gotta keep this alive. So then I tried to find as many pictures as possible. And then I made my own, homage to that site. It was called the Ghostbusters Toy Archive. So that was like the first website I ever made before I ever did podcasting or anything. The first thing I did on the internet was make a Ghostbusters toy website. It was blue. That was my angle. I was like, because there were some people that did Ghostbusters, but with a purple scheme or whatever. I was like, I'm going to do a blue scheme. And that was, again, like, how you're just trying to, like, how you're going to differentiate yourself. So mine
I'm
was,
Monumental.
I'm blue.
yeah, I'll be the blue one. Anyway, so that was, and it was great. That was like my first foray into like making something on the internet and like having a community or just being a part of the community. Because by that point, the forum was on ghostbusters.net, I think.
Okay.
Like sharing things and people getting ticked off if you didn't, or just dealing with all of the, intricacies of being a part of a forum and in a community. I learned everything I know about like interneting from those early days of like Ghostbusters internet community.
That's awesome. I mean, we've talked about it so many. We don't need to
Yeah.
recap our personal
Yeah,
histories.
TV fans.
Like,
Yes,
AJ
I've got threads. Yeah.
AJ Quick is on the Mount Rushmore of like, again, of
Ghostbusters website people.
Yeah, I just like again, like he was a legend 30 years ago, for God's sake.
Yeah, I think it's AJ Quick and me.
Yep. Been there.
Been there.
Whole time.
But anyway, so let's talk about some of the stuff that was happening today. The hope is that there's enough news in between these shows to kind of pack in some discussion. Now, we did talk about the casting for Firehouse last week on the regular YHS episode. You can find it in the archives.
Huge news.
It was big news.
Yeah,
Everybody.
everybody.
Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's big. It's big stuff. Obviously, no updates on who's playing who. I did see, Jake, there was a picture of Patton Oswalt today, but he was in California. But he was hanging out with Adam Ray, little Ghostbusters fun fact. He's a stand-up comedian. He did Slimer's voice in Answer the Call. In Answer the Call. And he's also the lead singer of the band.
Oh, he's the band, right?
From the daytime metal show.
Which, have you guys seen this new Spotify DJ? Has anyone played with that
Yeah, I'm
yet?
familiar.
I have. It's awful.
Yeah, I get mad at him. Honestly, I have too much of a need to control my.
Plays a
music.
lot of stuff I don't like. I was like,
Yeah,
what is
and as
this?
it goes, it's like, let me try some new stuff. I'm like, I don't want that.
So I was telling
Yeah.
them the other day, they were like, the Spotify DJ was like, let's take you back to your playlist from 2016. And it was just the Answer the Call soundtrack. No, it was that song. Whatever that metal song is.
Not afraid.
Stop, guys. Come on.
Ghostbusters, baby.
Oh.
Ugh.
Hey, Paul Feig's in Atlanta right now. He's filming a
nice.
movie here.
What's he
Okay.
shooting?
So
Get him on the show. He's coming on the
Whatever.
show. Get on the
Jesus.
show.
he's not allowed. He's not allowed back on the lot.
Man.
Hey, not our words. Dan Aykroyd's words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, when Dan Aykroyd first said that, it was so funny. When he's like, yeah, but it was a good movie, but he costs too much. He's not coming back on the lot. Well, let's get right into it. We're gonna keep these shows right at about an hour, so I don't want to waste any more time. So this was on Jason Reitman, his Instagram today. This picture of Jason and Gil, star-crossed riders. I almost edited it to make it look like the Emperor's blue lightning was coming out of Gil's hand. I thought that would be
No. That's so Romeo and Juliet. I love it.
Hey, did you see who took this picture? Little
No.
YHS trivia. Alexis Forte.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've had tea with Alexis.
That's the
How about-
yeah. It was
We
tea
had,
time.
we had tea with
Costume?
Alexis. Yeah, she's the costume assistant.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you
She
go.
rules.
She's great. So confirmed she's probably working on the next
The
movie.
new wardrobe.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. They keep, I made the joke today to Jake. They keep kind of taking the same picture. What if this is like a stage play? It's like one set in the firehouse, 4 hours with an intermission. I would like that actually.
Needs a turntable though, right? So you get all the scenes.
People did point out that
Mhm.
the if you look at I don't know the right word. The filament, is that the right word?
Probably not.
the-
What are you talking about?
The design of where Gil's hand is, the gate design basically.
Oh, yeah.
Filigree.
Filigree.
Filigree. Yeah, it's not
What's-
filament.
Hey,
Isn't that like?
You get a
That's-
pass.
Yeah. that's
Hey,
something
I
else.
went to school with filigree. All right, he owes me $20.
All right.
It's definitely the front facade of the firehouse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but there's not really a whole lot else to unpack here, other than we love Gil and Jason, and we're excited about this. Jacob, did you have anything to add to this? Did this get you excited today?
Sure. I mean, it did get me excited just because it's a picture from the set, but yeah, there's nothing to go on. It's not like something to speculate about. It's just the firehouse.
Just the firehouse. Abigail.
Yeah, I love it. It's Shakespearean. That's cool if they're rebuilding it. And that's that. I mean, it's awesome. It makes me really happy. I'm happy to see it. I love these two. And yeah, it's inspiring and exciting.
Jay, do you have something?
Yeah, I feel like I should give a counter take here.
Okay.
I think trying to recreate the firehouse takes away all of the mojo of using that crappy old firehouse in LA as the interior. It's gonna have no soul, No magic.
What a take. That'll be
We'll know.
That'll be the thumbnail for this episode.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters Firehouse has no soul.
Hey, we got a super chat here if you guys want.
Christopher Bouchard, thank you.
Yeah.
From
Thanks,
Noonan.
Chris.
Ooh,
Appreciate it.
Georgia.
Thank
Hello,
you from Noonan, Georgia.
Mhm.
Jim says this speaks to how little exterior work they will actually film in New York. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're gonna have some sort of like second unit out there doing some stuff, but I do not. You literally, I mean, remember when's the last time they filmed at the actual Firehouse was? I mean, when they did it for Answer the Call, and then when they did it in the LA Firehouse. I mean, Jake, you remember that day? So what ended up becoming the post credit scene?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, that it felt like 5 minutes after they started filming, like everybody was like, "They're at the Firehouse. What
Right.
could this mean?"
Yeah.
And we didn't know Ernie Hudson was there, but we saw the containment unit. We saw, and I was like,
Yeah, it was in the back of a truck. There was like pictures of the containment unit in the back of
Yeah.
a fucking truck.
and
Wonder what that is.
Yeah,
Right. So now they can like achieve the level of secrecy that they need to do. what
Well,
they
they
need.
also don't have to worry about this sounds awful, but they don't have to worry about a bunch of grown men in Ghostbuster costumes showing up to set constantly because
Hey,
now they're in London on a stage. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
completely private. The Firehouse it's too public at this point, and there's too many of us who want to be there for that. So this
Wait.
is
I don't think people would show up. I think they would like, respect.
people are normal, right?
It's one thing about people.
I think it's important. Number two, like, how long did they shoot in New York even for the first movie? Like, they had a certain amount of time.
Right.
Most of the interior stuff was in LA or in a studio.
In a studio, right.
Or a big, sound stage or whatever. So if there are concerns like, oh, well, they're not shooting, there's going to be New York scenes. The
Sure.
exterior stuff will still be, hook and ladder in, downtown Manhattan. But just the interior will be on a sound stage.
Yeah.
In London.
Which is fine. It's the magic of movie making.
Yeah, it's literally how they've made every movie since like, the beginning of time.
Yeah.
So
Right.
So they seem to be doing something different this time around. They're in some sort of warehouse, and I don't know.
well, I think in the movie The Firehouse, I'm just laughing at AJ. They've moved the Firehouse into a warehouse for some reason. We'll learn.
only Ghostbusters,
Brick.
only in the Ghostbusters community do leaked photos of the Ecto end up on TMZ. Like that's not even that's not news. Celebrity spotted in the streets of Drum Hill. The Ecto One's back. Ladder's on the wrong side. They're fucking up the franchise again. Oh man. Anyways, so yeah, that was cool.
God, hold
yeah.
on. I want to. So speaking of last, the controversy of the ladder being on the wrong side.
Yeah,
I want something like that to happen again. I want a set photo to come out, and for something to be different than we know it to be. And I want to see the internet have a meltdown like a bunch of babies over it.
yeah.
What do you think it will be? What will it be this time?
Statue of Liberty will actually have Nikes on.
Yeah.
They made it a point to say they did not make Nikes in her size. This is a travesty.
Well, there's been some kids working on it for 30 years.
Yeah.
Making her shoes.
So, Jake, give your speech. There's probably new people finding us and listening to us for the speech about how once it's canon, it's canon.
Oh,
that's my favorite speech, and people need to hear it.
Yeah,
sure. So whenever the pictures came out of the ladder on the wrong side, people freaked out because the ladder was on a different side, as if somebody couldn't move a ladder in 30 years. And my thing is that when a film comes out, if a sequel comes out, and something is in that movie that maybe goes against something that happened in the first movie, or it has since changed, it's canon now. You can't say it's not. Like, that's in the movie. Whenever the ladder, it's like, that's canon. They move the fucking ladder. It's not the wrong side because that's where it's at now. This is the
right.
This is the official follow-up If it was like a comic book or some bullshit or fan art or something, it's like, oh, the ladder's on the wrong side.
Yeah.
But this is Ghostbusters 3. The ladder's not on the wrong side. They moved it.
Yeah, exactly. It's where it should be. It's canon. Radically accept that fact. It's
Right.
not a mistake.
It's like on Tuesday, if somebody would have said, has Jack Black and Lizzo ever been in Star Wars? You'd be like, no, that doesn't make sense. But by Wednesday, it's now canon. Like it or
canon
not.
now.
Not sure I like it.
Can I say I like the fuck out of that? Really excited to talk about that later on tonight on Mandalorian on GDL2.
Yeah, plug it
Yeah.
away. After this, Jay's
that.
got more streaming to do. He's going to be talking about the Mandalorian season.
Isn't Thursday your all's Mando day 2, or you do?
Oh,
No,
we
don't
quit.
we-
We gave
yeah,
that. We
this
gave
is the
that bullshit
replacement.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the
Oh, okay.
replacement.
Good for you.
We decided that we hate Mandalorian now, so we just let you do it.
Oh, okay. I respect that. I
Yeah,
respect
we're
that a
making
lot.
space for other passions.
We're like, we don't got time to talk about stuff we don't like. Let's do Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Which
I-
we barely can get through.
I've because I've been podcasting a long time for 17 years, and I've seen a lot of people come and go, or I see people still talk about a show, but they like eventually start to hate it, and then the episode just is them like shitting on it for
Yeah.
an hour, and then eventually it's like, maybe just stop watching if it's making you that miserable. Just
Yeah.
stop doing it.
I mean, the real
Yeah.
the non-jokey reason was that, we're always going to be primarily associated with Ghostbusters, and
Yeah.
we want to make sure that we are doing what we can to
Pure.
we want to stay pure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want
Go if
to
it works.
we want to be baptized with ectoplasm.
In the waters of Mandalore.
No, the waters of the old pneumatic transit.
Yes. It's a river of slime.
The old man, it's still here.
Yeah, Ray, we know. I talked about this a couple weeks ago, but I still always love when they're in the dark room developing the photos
Mhm.
and they see the river of slime and Egon's like, what the hell is that? It's like the thing he's been talking about the whole movie. Anyways, so yeah, we'll keep an eye on everybody's social media, and as more and more information comes out, we will talk about. We should note that yesterday was announced that Aquaman 2 Return of Aquaman, I don't know what it's called, but it's called something.
I think it's Aqua. I think it's
more wild.
Yeah, that
way of the more water. They announced that the original release date I think was like December 26th. They've now bumped it up to December 20th, which currently is the same date as the Firehouse release date. Let's roundtable it. We've done it every time. Abigail, is this movie coming out this year, or are we going to see a pushback?
No, we're getting a pushback, and it's going to be nice. We're going to like the pushback, and it makes sense because, there's just no way that this movie could be filmed and finished and edited and like ready to go by December. That would be insane.
That would be tough.
I mean, you say that, but go talk to fucking what's his name who made X and
that motherfucker. Yeah.
2 movies in 6 months, and they fucking released 6 months apart from each other, and they're both pretty great. So
yeah, it can be done.
they trained a whole alligator in that 6 months.
Yeah, that's
Can we talk about the great thing if it does get pushed back to 2024?
Sure.
Mhm.
Is that Hasbro's Ghostbuster toys will have plastic packaging.
We should talk about this.
Yeah.
So this was this just broke right before the show started, but Hasbro has announced that they're going back to plastic packaging. They've decided that the cries of the internet have determined that no more windowless. Does it really matter? Like, I guess to some people it matters. Like, why are they say that you're going to do it for an environmental reason? I don't know. Maybe we should save that discussion for Toy Anxiety.
Maybe.
But
It is
we'll have new Ghostbusters toys, and
Yeah.
you'll be able to see them.
And they'll be on a bubble with
Mhm.
especially biodegradable plastic.
Yeah, they've invented a new kind of plastic that's going to save the
Yeah.
world.
I'd
It'll
rather
melt
have
in
them
the
in a
ocean.
box.
It'll touch the ocean waters and just dissolve. Ooh, what if they did Ghostbuster packaging with like biodegradable plastic, but like you put it in water and the plastic turns to ectoplasm?
Wait, what if you had to? What if
Awesome.
What if there's instructions on the back of every package to bury your packaging in the front yard, and
It turns into a tree.
it grows into a tree? Hey,
There's seeds embedded into it.
just spitballing.
I heard that the new packaging, every package will have like plastic loops holding the toys inside, very much like the old Santa soda cans.
The old soda cans. Yes.
So, yeah, so for killing fish and birds. So.
Mhm.
Yeah. The whole
Okay.
goal is to ensure that once we throw our trash away,
Mhm.
that something is harmed.
Yes.
So we at Hasbro, we want to kill as many animals as possible. We want.
I don't think. By the way, I bet this is going to be a. I want to learn more about this. I'm going to do some research before I give
Yeah.
all my opinions. But
Mhm.
we're just
we-
joking, Hasbro.
yeah, we love you. But we
Kinda.
should talk about this. Toys.
Mhm.
We know that when these movies get bumped up and down and turned around, it can sometimes cause chaos in the toy aisles, right? Like in an ideal world, the movie comes out in March or April
Sure.
of 2024, and we get our first waves of new figures in the months leading up to that. But knowing how things are and with supply chain and everything, are we going to be looking at, hey, they pushed back the movie till June, but come this November,
The toys are still coming out. Yeah,
the toys are
and they'll
coming.
spoil everything.
Oh.
It's not so much a sports, but it felt like the last time there was great Ghostbuster toys, but it was such a start and stop, and I feel like it really killed the momentum of those toys, and it would be just nice to have a good steady stream without crossing them
Mhm.
of toys on the toy shelves.
Mhm.
Jay, you were the first person on the internet to review the Fright Features, the new Fright Features figures.
Yeah, thank God it wasn't a Mattel or Playmates toy, or my channel would have been shut down.
No, Ghostbusters. Do you know how many people are making really good bootleg Ghostbusters toys right now?
Yep.
Oh man. Yeah, Jay, you got your hands on those way early. I was so jealous. I actually secretly hated you. Didn't really know you, but I was so mad. And then I met you.
When I got them and did their review, I was like, oh, this is gonna really piss Craig off. I don't know him. This is gonna piss him off, and I can't wait.
Piss me off. What are we expecting, Jake? This time around, as far as toys,
Sure.
we were all on the record saying that we really liked majority of what was released for Afterlife. How are we feeling this go around? What do you want to see?
I want to see something new, and I want to see less khaki. And I guess that depends on what's happening in the movie, whether or not they're still wearing khaki or not. But
Sure.
I'm tired of having half of a toy room be khaki colored. It's boring when it comes to toys. I'm sure we're going to get a good bit of repaints as far as, the plasma collection series, whatever it goes. I hope the Fright Feature stuff continues, and I want more ghosts, which I think is what we've been saying forever. Less people and more ghosts.
Yeah, more ghosts, more color, more diversity in the color, and more like fashion expression in the suit. I think it would be really cool to see the kids be able to take on that, and
I just
kind
want
of
to
change them a little
I
bit.
think they could probably get away with re-releasing the 4 kids in Fright Features and just repainting them in real Ghostbusters colors. I'd buy them.
That'd be cool.
That's
Yeah.
what I think Abby's dead on. It's like they're younger, they're more expressive, and more in tune with like how they want to represent themselves on uniform. So like them showcasing that by changing the look of their uniform is a perfect way to go the real Ghostbusters route. And like each person has a unique color. I love that idea. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Phoebe goes with like the blonde
Oh,
twist, like sphincter.
dyes her
yeah,
hair.
like, let's just lean into it.
Yeah.
Wait, Phoebe
The pompadour?
bleaches her hair. She's like, I'm gonna be just like Grandpa, and everyone's like, what?
She comes with a broken tie.
No, they do a flashback to like the mid '90s, and it's like the younger de-aged Ghostbusters, and Egon does have just bleached blonde hair. Like, man,
It was
Egon's
a
going.
phase.
Yeah, they should have known he was about to go insane and move to Oklahoma after he dyed his hair. Yeah, I think Plasma series will be back. I hope they do more ghosts. I think we'll probably get a re-release of the Ecto that they did. The Fright Features Ecto.
It got expensive. Weirdly, it wasn't that great, but somehow that thing got expensive.
Really? Are they going for more now?
They were for a while. They're going for like over $100. I feel like.
Damn. I mean, that's what
eBay check right now, but I feel like it was going for it was getting spendy.
You know what that? Remember, Jake, when that happened with the Answer the Call Proton pack? Somehow, like
I think it's still kind of expensive. I feel like I looked it up. I feel like I looked it up not that long ago, and I think it is. Yeah. Because I was like, am I about to sell mine? But I don't want to sell it. So.
I kept one, but I bought because they got clearance at Target for like $10, so I bought a few.
Mm-hmm.
I sold one at a toy show for $50.
The
Answer the Call one?
Oh, the Proton pack. It doesn't look.
It came down. There was a time it was like over $100. The Plasma Series one.
Oh, the Plasma Series one.
Plasma Series one. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. Plasma Ecto. Yeah, back down about 50. You know what? I think they ended up hitting. I think Target did or Amazon got like a weird stock of them at some point.
Yeah, but you know what though? Like still April 2nd, April 4th, they're still selling for over $50. Those got clearance too at Target for $20 or whatever, $10.
So as far as toys go, I would love. I mean, everybody wants this. Do we think, knowing what we know about? Okay, this is the knowledge we need. Knowing Ghostbusters fans, knowing collector habits, do we think we're finally at the point where a 6-inch scale Ecto would fund in like a HasLab? Because right now we're watching a WCW Nitro Arena, which is supposedly a dream item.
Yeah.
And it is crashing. And
whose dream is that?
Mine. My dream item.
I don't know, dude. I feel like people would complain about the price, no matter what it was.
But this is the beauty though. Say it fails, then Ramen Toys just gonna make one for like $50, and then it'll be fine.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to some commentary here and see what if we can interact with our people. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, dude. I want to finally see some GB helmets / visors, like how was originally imagined for the first film. Also, deflect your areas on the jumpsuits in case someone gets proton blasted.
Ooh, that's cool.
So some more
gear, like more roleplay gear.
Some more like sci-fi. I don't know. I'm back and forth. I love seeing new gear, but I don't necessarily need like helmets and.
No, I say save that stuff for like the cartoon. I'm good with that stuff and the animated anything. But I want the movies to just be I just want it to be a jumpsuit, classic gear. But
I want a different color.
I do want the khaki to get the fuck out of here, though.
Yeah. I want black. I want black jumpsuits.
GB2 suits.
I want GB2 suits.
Yeah.
Which are the bluish gray color.
Yeah. Navy blue would be good.
Yeah.
Black.
I always love those suits, and I was because the book. Remember the book had, or I guess the poster too had them in those suits, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. And they're only in the damn Run DMC segment.
Yeah.
Right. And over the years, like as the reference material has gotten better and as like the 4K releases have gotten better, those suits are more navy blue than they are like charcoal gray.
Yeah.
But dude, one thing about Ghostbusters 2, that scene when they're in the jewelry store.
Yeah.
Jewelry store, yeah.
And Venkman's just chilling out wearing sunglasses. Yes. It is the coolest ever. I want that whole scene.
On that forum, that was my my picture.
That's my favorite. Yeah.
I was Luke Vank. I've always been Luke Vank, and then it was that picture. That was me.
Oh, is that why your name's Luke Vank?
Yeah.
Because of Luke Skywalker and Peter Venkman?
It was like just got AOL, and I was like, I am my favorite things, Star Wars.
I love that we just found.
What are my two favorite things? Luke and Peter Venkman.
And well, yours were DDP and what was his name? Kevin Hart.
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart. Sorry,
Kevin Hart.
I just wanted to bring attention to your DD fart handle that you had for a while.
Thank you. That's now
I know I brought it up
2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
We're always going to bring it up on this show.
Makes me laugh.
Let's see. Jim Mariotta says, the greatest thing that could happen is Ecto 1 in the movie as it gets replaced. No one has to worry about paying GM a license anymore in the building. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's time for the Ecto to go away. I mean, it would not. No, I think it's time. I think there should be Harley Davidsons.
Hey, remember when they tried to replace the Ecto 1 and Answer the Call and it looked dumb as shit?
It didn't work.
It looked really stupid.
Yeah. That, yeah.
Hey,
It was a
remember when
downgrade.
remember when you've seen any other vehicle as an Ecto One, like a fan Ecto One, where it's any other car, and then they look dumb as shit?
The
When
ones,
it's like a white minivan with like a small Ghostbusters logo on the side.
the ones I always kind of dug, and they don't make it anymore. I always thought the kind of look like a cool modern one was the was that Chrysler
PT Cruiser.
wagon?
PT Cruise.
Not PT Cruiser, the wagon. It was like a wagon Chrysler
Oh, okay.
station wagon.
I don't know.
They made them in the 2000s. I always thought those looked kind of cool, but I agree in general, it's nothing quite matches.
Oh, it kind of looks like the yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
It kind of looks like what Chase's old car, when Chase had the Dodge, was the Magnum.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Magnum.
Yeah, it's like a Magnum, but it was a station wagon.
Yeah.
I think some people did it. I think like when they first started showing like concept art for the video game, I think they used that car too for their Ecto or something.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Chrysler Pacifica. I have no idea if that's true or not. But
Isn't that a sports car?
somebody typed it, and I was like, I'm going to share that. Chrysler Pacifica.
I think the Dodge Magnum is
People are
It's
just
the
saying
Magnum, but it was
random
like a
cars.
longer one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
only time I've ever had to get a Magnum.
Car talk and YHS.
Number one car podcast.
We are the number one car podcast. By the way, thank you guys for being here. Already, good amount of people filing in and watching. Hit the like button. If you enjoy this, let a friend know. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to spread the word. We're going to grow this thing. We're going to grow this community. By the time this movie comes out,
It's gonna be like
I don't know.
insane.
Then we'll stop doing
Yeah.
when you
Oh.
get on mainstream, and who wants to be mainstream?
it. Oh yeah.
No, underground.
Hey Jake, I wanted to talk a little bit
Hi.
about. Hi. I wanted to talk a little bit about after the movie, right? So last year at EctoFest, we were there.
Mhm.
They announced an animated movie,
Yeah.
an animated series, a new comic book series,
Yeah.
but we haven't heard anything on any of that since.
Right. So, I mean, to me, for Ghostbusters, it makes complete sense. Dan Aykroyd has conditioned me to expect announcements and then
Yeah.
expect to never see anything from those announcements.
Yeah, I know. It is a little bit hard being a Ghostbusters fan, but I think they've been pretty, like, since Jason Reitman, since Ghost Corps started firing things up 2017, 2018, got Afterlife out. It happened. We've all seen it. Still can't believe it. I feel like now we're in the position where they still got to get this next movie out before we get that next run of stuff.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
my question for the group is, out of all the stuff they announced, or maybe something they did announce, but you want, Jake, what are you most excited about?
Out of the stuff they announced, I think maybe the animated movie
Yeah.
Okay.
will be fun. I don't know, like animation is so different now,
Yeah.
watching stuff like Spider-Verse that's coming out, or just any of the animated movies that you see now. It's just all so good looking now. It's so visually striking, and just it'd be cool and new to see new Ghostbusters animation that maybe doesn't look like the real Ghostbusters. And I love the real Ghostbusters, but I mean, we have technology to do so much more
Yeah.
now.
Mhm.
So I think that'd be cool.
I was also eager, Jake, to see animated stuff, movie. If there's a Netflix show because that was announced, I'd love to
Yeah.
see where that goes. I'm a huge fan of animation, like you, and to see the groundbreaking things that can be achieved and the artistic expression. And I think just like having the right people on the team, which there were names mentioned for that animated stuff. So hopefully that'll come out.
Oh, right, for the animated movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about
But
that.
having a live action movie is
Chris
Great.
Pranowski is one of the directors. Definitely stuff. People have done some really good stuff. As far as the series goes, I mean, I never realized Netflix had an article about it, but for some reason, when I kept saying it was going to be a Netflix series, I thought that was maybe something I just made up, but they did announce it was going to be an animated series for Netflix. I don't know what that's going
But
to
here's
look
the
like.
thing. Hold on. Scroll down a little bit.
Going.
So I wonder, like, since it's for Netflix, I was just reading where it mentioned Jurassic World, Camp Cretaceous there.
Mhm.
I
yeah.
feel like a lot of the Netflix animated shows look very similar, and it's kind of that Clone Wars,
like computer. Yeah.
really quick and easy, simple, shitty
Yeah.
animation. I don't love that. Like that's partly what keeps me away from watching the Star Wars animated shows. Is I'm like, that kind of weird animation feels like a quick go-to for a lot of this kind of stuff, and I would hope that it would be something a little more original than that. But
Right.
who
No,
knows?
I agree.
Yeah. I would say that Clone Wars and Rebels got more visually like and aesthetically mind-blowing, I'd say, in the like later seasons as things
Agreed.
progressed. And Bad Batch has some cool animation stuff with it.
Yeah.
So I'd be hopeful that they could do something.
Would you want to see for an animated, specifically animated series? Would you want to see? What would you want to see out of that? Would you want to see? Because there's different ways they could go. It could be an animated series about the 4 Ghostbusters, just new world, new adventure. It could be a reboot or a sequel to the. I don't think they would do a sequel to Real Ghostbusters, but I think maybe they use those character designs and do a different version of Real Ghostbusters. Or maybe it could be something that focuses on the new team of kids. Like there's a lot of different ways they could go with it, and I'm not 100% sure I know what I want.
Yeah, and if it's geared towards kids, is it going to be more ghosts and less of the guys?
It's gonna be called Muncher and the Oklahoma Ghostbusters.
Wow.
The Central Oklahoma Ghostbusters.
Yeah, the OK Ghostbusters.
What were you gonna say, Jake?
I was just gonna say, when it comes to the animated series, I don't care. Like I say, when it comes to animated stuff, like get as out of the box or as weird as you want to with it, because it's a cartoon. It doesn't really have a bearing on what the movies are doing. And if we have movies that are currently happening in this, timeline, I don't care what they do with the show. It can be weird. It could have nothing to do with the 4 original Ghostbusters. It could be all, I just don't care as long as there's Ghostbusters stuff happening.
I agree. Hey, by the way, somebody said, late again, YouTube never notifies me of the show. Make sure when you subscribe to our channel, which we hope you have subscribed, you hit that bell and get those notifications.
It's this
Come
weird
on,
thing
ring that
YouTube
bell.
does where if say you get notified a lot, but then you don't always hit it, not necessarily this channel, but like in general,
Right.
then YouTube be like, well, maybe he doesn't like it when I send him a notification. I don't want to bug him, and it doesn't send it.
YouTube, please bug everybody.
Yeah, it's like, come on, they press the button.
Yeah.
They gave us permission to bug them.
Flash asks, it's Sony. Any chance of Spider-Verse like style?
Amazing.
I think for the movie,
Yeah, it's possible.
yeah, I think for the movie, we're going to see some really cool, different kind of stylized animation. Maybe something like Spider-Verse, maybe something like the new
Turtles.
the Turtles movie.
Yeah.
But the Turtles, they got the same studio that did Spider-Verse, right? I saw something like, or similar. They got a similar animation team to the.
I think so.
Probably. They were smart. Like,
Yeah.
what production that's making an animated movie saw Spider-Verse and says, let's not do it like that?
Right.
Yeah. Spider-Verse, there was like always something moving and in motion on the
it's
screen,
incredible.
like in all at the same time. It's like so visually.
That new trailer
interesting.
was great.
Yeah.
So speaking of the comic book, so it was announced Dark Horse is going to do the comic.
Tsukuyomi.
Thank you. There
Tsukuyomi,
you go.
thank you. The comic
Great
book is
story.
supposed to be a fill-in story of what happens between GB1 and GB2. So I think that's a little bit true. I think they weren't super specific, but they did say that the Dark Horse comic series would fill in some of the gaps. Whether that I have a feeling it's maybe not GB1 and GB2, but more the lead up between 2 to Afterlife, like that period of time. But I could be wrong. There's really not that much information about it. I'm excited though that I'm kind of on the same page with Jake as far as comics. I think they're nice supplementary material, but not my go-to media all the time. But
Right, because words.
God damn it. I read. What is this?
I have seen Craig read on multiple occasions.
He does.
You
He does.
have?
He reads tons of articles
No
on the
shit.
internet.
I was trying to back you up, buddy.
Yeah.
Jay's like just staring through the window at me. I do read.
Yes, turn the page. He does.
I feel like though the fact that they're going to do a canon story makes me more interested already, and that Jason and Gil are involved in the creative process.
I dig it. I dig canon stuff, but it's also like that Star Wars thing. It's like, oh, I got to read like 3 books and this comic book
Well, that's
series, this other
different.
thing, and
You can't convince me that anybody at Lucasfilm storybook groups are talking to each other.
right.
I feel like all the comics and books are like contradicting each other.
And then I
from
gotta
what
like,
I've
ask
heard.
all my friends who read all that shit. Okay, fill me in. Like, what's the? Okay, all right,
Mhm.
I get it. All right, let me read some Wikipedia articles. All right, I feel like I got the gist.
Right.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. They haven't mentioned anything about the comics since they announced them. So
Yeah.
it kind of feels like everything's in a little bit of a holding pattern until
Well, they're busy, so like
they
they're
are very
right
busy.
now, so
Yeah.
I
They
don't
are
know.
busy making.
I mean,
a
I'm
movie.
sure the cartoons or the animated stuff is all like. I'm sure Jason and Gil have some sort of say in what's going on, but that's probably all going to be handled by completely other teams.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Can I just say I would like it to be that they're creatives that are like us, where it's like we have all these grandiose ideas, and then like we get in the weeds on some part. Like, I don't have time to do all that shit. I'm trying to get this goddamn movie done. I can't do all this other.
Yeah.
It's probably
like,
yeah.
sorry, mandatory Mando.
yes,
like,
yeah. The comic was their Mandalorian. They were just like, oh, we got something
Yeah.
else to do right now.
Mhm.
Too much.
No, John, we do not hate comic books. We just know that they're
No, I celebrate them, enjoy them, and have collected them
See, I got
and read them.
comics.
Yeah.
I was never really into the IDW comics. I know that a lot of Ghostbusters fans say they're like the greatest thing of all time, but I just never could get really into them. I do like Dan Schoening a lot. We've had him on the show, and but yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
If the story's good, I'll be into it. Like, I want to know what happened in between GB2 and Afterlife. I want to know every last detail.
Mm-hmm.
The somebody said it in there earlier, but one thing that I wish of the era that Ghostbusters was within, it never had like its babies version of it. So like Muppet Babies, Flintstone Kids. I don't know. There's a pup named Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
But there was never a kid.
Tiny Toons.
Like, baby Ghostbusters.
I mean, I would take like Baby Slimer and like his.
I was
little
going to
ghost
say
friends.
the closest I guess we would ever have gotten is when it was like Slimer and the real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And it was
Right.
silly and had the other. Yeah.
But I
you're right.
used to draw like my own idea of that show, and I would draw an Ecto one, but it was a pedal car Ecto one, and then the little kid Ghostbusters were pedal carring to a thing.
That's great.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to do a dissection of the Spangler's Journal that came with the HasLab pack? So much information.
That is a lot of in between.
I have not looked at it.
Again,
You haven't?
reading.
Oh,
I
no.
need to look. Give it to me.
I haven't either.
It's like he basically, it's the journal, and it details kind of in between GB2 and Afterlife, and there's a lot of good. I meant to do a video about it, but I forgot. Speaking of things I say I want to do and just don't ever get to, that was one of them.
Oh, I'm going to do it. I do it. Complete guide to the Spangler Journal. I'll do it. Yeah, that would be fun to kind of go through that, and I was
maybe for a future episode, one of us can dig through it.
We're gonna have about 10 more minutes here, so we'll go to some more chat. We appreciate you guys being here and participating. It's awesome. Jeanette, do you think we'll see more Egon in Firehouse as memories or like flashbacks?
That's tough.
I think it would be cool to see. Do I think so? I don't know. Maybe not. But I think they kind of. I think we've said goodbye to Egon.
Yeah.
In a way that might feel cheap, bringing him back.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it would be cool to just get a full-on de-aged all 4 of the Ghostbusters battling something. But I think it was such a personal thing to Jason and not just Jason. But that goodbye at the end, there's you don't bring Egon back after that. It's
Right.
We've
Yeah.
passed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a long, arduous road, and we said goodbye, and it would make it kind of cheap.
but I agree, though, it would be cool to get like if they opened up the movie with like the Ghostbusters in like
90.
I don't know 1991 or
Yeah.
1994. You know, that would be awesome.
I do think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We will see. What else do we hear? We need a Wakanda Forever level funeral for Egon.
No,
With,
I still haven't seen that movie because I know I'm going to cry the whole time. I don't need that level of.
You're not.
You won't.
It's not that good.
You won't. It's not good.
Hey, I'll put it this way. I teared up at the beginning of the movie. You know, the Marvel intro was all Chadwick Boseman, and it was really well done and really emotional. And then the movie started, and I was like, "Oh, maybe they shouldn't have made this movie."
The trailer for the movie made me cry, and I didn't like the first. Black Panther, but the trailer for part 2, I was like, I'm crying watching this trailer. And then the movie was like, oh, this is boring.
Jay, are you like an emotional guy? Because I am. I cry at everything.
So it's probably some tragic thing, or just being, I don't know, having to repress my emotions as a kid. But I don't cry in real life, but I cry in movies and TV shows all the time. Like
interesting.
I'm a big crier. But
yeah.
Also, I went and saw Les Mis yesterday, Deepak, and that was just crying for 3 hours. And
was Russell Crowe there?
Huh?
That's why you're crying.
Yeah, you're a fan of catharsis. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I cried at that episode of Full House when Uncle Jesse's going to move out, but then he doesn't.
So I famously, like, even my kids now, because we watched Babe last week. And, they hadn't seen. I was like, "Your kid's gonna love Babe. Babe's great, bunch of talking animals. It's really cute." But then the end's really emotional. He does the "That'll Do" pig, and I'm just sitting. And then my kids just looking at me like, "Ha, cry, Dad."
Wait a minute. What? Wasn't there another talking pig movie that came out? Wasn't there like a Deep Impact Armageddon situation?
Yeah.
Yes. God, what was the other one called?
Pig in the City? No, that's the sequel to Babe.
Sequel to Babe.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the Gordy? That's it.
Gordy.
Fucking Gordy. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna start winding down right now. So we appreciate you being here. This is a lot of fun for us to be able to sit around and talk about my favorite topic, which is Ghostbusters. We're hoping in the next couple of weeks we start. I think we're gonna get a new date announcement before the next time we do one of these. And
Probably tomorrow.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, all the casting was announced the morning after we did the first one, which is a long-running joke on the Ghostbusters, the Cross Rip. They would always release their episode, and the next day, all the news would come out, and then we would do our episode.
And that's how we destroyed the Cross Rip. That's why they're not around anymore.
Yeah.
Notice they're gone.
Little known YHS fact.
Boys and girls.
Hey, I texted Troy the other day. I was like, "Hey, bring back your podcast. I need to hear somebody talk about Ghostbusters."
Let's get him on this one.
I'm trying.
2 weeks. Let's get him on.
Shout out though to the people who are creating Ghostbusters content, like Jim, who's doing Extraplasm. Jake, you were on that show the other day.
I was. It was great. It was a lot of fun. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, you didn't really talk about Ghostbusters, but it was great.
No, fuck it. We talked about Stay Puft for a little bit.
Yeah. Abigail.
Yeah.
What's your mood?
I'm trying to get this picture of Gordy saved so I can put it up. He's got sunglasses and a tie on, and I kind of want to see the movie.
Jay, your kids are gonna be big Gordy fans. They're gonna break your heart.
Yeah.
This is a Babe household. I don't know. I want your kids bringing that Gordy in here. We're a Babe household.
It's a Babe house.
I don't want you crying over that other pig.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
But Abigail, any other thoughts on things happening in Ghostbusters? We didn't talk about. Hey, I meant to ask Jacob this. I'm going to put him on the spot right now. You're coming up this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go do the Ghostbusters VR Academy? Because it's in Atlanta.
It is?
Is it?
Where?
There's like 3 of them. Yeah.
What? Hey, the fact that you're like, to put you on the spot as if it's going to be a hard question for me to answer. Yes, let's go. Let's do it.
So
Yeah. How'd you find out?
Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Book it.
Hold on. So the VR Academy is through Hollowgate. Jay, I bet there's one by you too, because it's not like The Void. Like they put these things in like Dave & Buster's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so are we going to Dave & Buster's?
Ooh, Dave & Buster's.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
All right. So it's the Ghostbusters VR Academy.
Maybe they got one at a Top.
AJ, you should.
AJ, I dare you to fly in tomorrow.
We're all going to
That's
see
the
Bruce
kind of
Campbell.
prank. That's the kind of prank AJ would pull. He just shows up tomorrow.
Flies across the country. I was
Yeah.
looking for these locations. Locations.
There it is.
So, whoa.
Whoa.
Look at
Wow.
those
Look at the
stats.
players.
Virtually everywhere. Just tell me where it actually is.
Jay,
Yeah.
give me a zip code that's not your exact one.
27612. That's my zip code.
276 what?
12.
Raleigh, NC.
Oh, there's okay. There's a couple.
You got
Actually,
three
right-
there.
There's 3.
That one over there, closer to
Hmm.
Durham's, really close to me. That's not. I can go to that one.
Derek, shout out to the
Was that
Paul Lynde
Frankie's?
voice. Yeah.
You got to go to Frankie's Fun Park.
Oh shit. Okay.
Templeton the Rat.
That doesn't sound like a real place.
It's like you never went here when you lived here. It's your standard family fun center.
Yeah, we've got those. We
Oh.
got one of those. It's called the Fun Spot
Yeah,
here.
same deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this, but I want to experience it first, and then we can talk about it. That sounds
Yeah.
fun, actually.
Let's do
Yeah.
it. Let's do it so we have something to talk about in 2 weeks.
Hey, let's create content.
People are just
And
putting in their
invest
zip
in
codes.
something.
Do my zip code next.
They want us
We'll
to
run
do
your
it.
zip code live.
You guys go look.
Jim
Hmm.
says these are Hologate locations, but you don't know if they actually have the game in their library. So you got to contact them.
Thank you,
Okay.
Jim. Yeah, we'll be contacting.
Okay. God.
Y'all run your own search.
I could just see.
call
I could see how this. Like Abby, pretend you're the person who works at the place. Like ring ring.
Hello.
Hey,
This is the Fun Spot.
hey, fun spot. I was wondering, do you have that new Ghostbusters VR game?
Let me check for you.
On hold for 3 hours.
Or the what?
What?
Or no.
I've
Done.
never heard of that before.
Or they say yes, we get there and it's the
They
pinball
don't.
machine.
Exactly.
Oh, it's that
exactly it.
fucking.
That's
Yeah, we got it.
When we were at the Dave and Buster's in Orlando,
Mm-hmm.
they had like a Jurassic World VR like ride.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah. amazing.
It was
It
better
was
than like
so good.
I was like, we're in a Dave and Buster's, and I feel like I'm on, Jim Hammond, John Hammond's.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it!
Jim Hammond's his brother.
No, his brother is David Attenborough. It is.
That's a good. Is he for real? I always thought
Yeah.
like when he died, I was like, and then oh man, I really loved his nature documentary.
Somebody else took his name. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're brothers. Yeah.
They're brothers.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, last time I'm going to tell you this. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel. We appreciate you being here. And also, you can head over to Geek Dad Life in 30 minutes and see Jay and his friends talking about The Mandalorian. I did like, there was some good musical cues in that. I like that they brought back some of the,
Yeah.
I got
the-
Christopher Lloyd, ladies and gentlemen. Come on.
yeah, Christopher
Yeah,
Lloyd.
do it for Christopher Lloyd.
Do
Yeah.
it for
And for
Doc
Lizzo.
Brown.
This is the Lizzo household, all right? I don't want, just so you know, we're a Lizzo household.
In this house, we listen to Liz. So you put that on your
And
front
Gordy.
yard.
We are proud Lizzo devotees.
Well, and Babe.
Yeah, Babe family, Lizzo family,
Hey,
body
hey,
positive.
Lizzo.
Jeanette, she says, or they say,
Thank you.
it's been a pleasure, gang. Love your podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We
Yeah.
appreciate everybody. We'll see you next time on Ghostbusters Radio Live, presented by Yes Have Some Podcast.
And we'll have done the VR experience.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see. We'll see. That's going to be the
Make
cliffhanger.
sure you hit subscribe and bell so you don't miss it.
Yeah. For
Yes.
Jacob Walsh, Abigail Gardner, and our great friend, Geek Dad Jay. Bye.
Ring that bell.
I'm going to end it right now.